Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. I'm Dr. Jalen Ricks, and this is my first video blog. Those words I was just playing with are from one of the most infamous Star Trek villains, the Borg. And they're a perfect villain for our American pop culture because we seemingly pride ourselves on being rugged individualists, proud of our uniqueness, diversity, and creative gifts. And yet, as the issues surrounding bullying come to the forefront, we are realizing there are some very harmful ways we do not celebrate an individual's uniqueness, especially when it comes to those individuals who don't conform to, say, a heterosexual standard. Or maybe when a couple who wants to get married is not heterosexual. This is called straight supremacy. It's the belief that no one is really qualitatively as good as a heterosexual. I know that when it's put so overtly it sounds almost silly, but there are many ways this subtle belief corrupts our everyday lives. And what's worse, there are organizations that actively promote this idea. Take, for example, Exodus International. They're the ministry that tried to put out that Cure the Gays iPhone app. I know the organization pretty well since I turned to them to try and become straight myself, which didn't work and actually sent me into therapy for years to recover from the damage they caused. Oddly enough, with all this iPhone attention, Exodus has announced, and I quote, "In no way, shape, or form is our message about trying to cure." What? After 40 years of existing on the very premise that homosexuals can be healed or you can change and there's a way out of the gay lifestyle, they are now saying they have no cure? You probably can hear the word games they are playing. Most likely they are saying, "We don't cure you, God cures you." So, cured, healed, changed, heterosexually challenged. There's no end to the lingo ex-gay leadership coins to hook you in and then take it back in the same breath. But what if, after all these years, after all this harm these ex-gay organizations have wrought on those who trusted them, what if they came clean and admit they can't really change someone from gay to straight? What have they got left to offer? Straight supremacy. You can be assimilated. That's why they have baseball games for guys and makeovers for the women. They believe they know what is God's best for you, and that is heterosexual marriage, regardless of your authentic sexuality. It's as if they've stolen God's unconditional love and tacked a "but you gotta be straight" clause on the end of it. It's straight supremacy, and they continue to ignore the devastation it causes in most of the people who turn to them for help. So don't you be duped. God's love has no but, and you can find people who love you unconditionally. You are not alone. If you are an ex-gay survivor, go to beyondxgay.com where there's a community that will listen to your story. Most of all, you are a beautiful, unique person, and your sexuality is just as much a part of your beauty as your spirituality. And that's something ex-gays cannot say. Thanks for listening.